What's poppin'? Man, I don't even know where to start. This shit is going on got me so, whatever you want to call it, I don't even feel like doing my intro right now. I just feel like being Steels. Whatever that may be, Steels Forever, Bobby, whatever that may be. I don't even feel like being or none of that. Like, man, like, I watched the Microsoft Xbox conference today, and I knew there was going to be a lot of people who, let me warn you right now, if you don't want to hear me rant for about 10-15 minutes, you might just want to just skip this video completely, because this is probably going to piss a lot of people off. But I'm just going to let the spade be the spade, truth be the truth. Like I said, before I even watched the video, I even made some comments yesterday about people was going to hate, people was going to act silly, cut up and have fun, which I'm all for, because you don't want to take everything so serious anyway. But a lot, I do draw a line at some point though, where I start thinking something is not really funny, because I feel like people are not being fair, because I'm all about being fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Microsoft screws up, they screw up. If Sony screws up, they screw up. Nintendo screws up, they screw up. PC screws up, they screw up. Whatever you play, whatever you have, they screw up, they screw up. That's how it is. But, so, I'm watching the Microsoft, like I said, before I even get to that, I made a video. You might want to go check it, just the reference point of me not lying or anything. I made a video yesterday about Microsoft having the last shot. And I basically went in to explain, like, I didn't really feel like this video or this conference they was going into was going to be that thorough. I felt like it was just going to be pretty basic. I said, well, I basically even gave an outline. I said they'll probably come up there, show the new system. They may not show it. Give us the price, may not give it. They'll probably show a couple games, a couple trailers. And I said, I thought they might would show a collage trailer of some sneak peeks or something they were going to show at E3. Call of Duty at the end, peace. And basically that's what they did. They showed specs, showed the showed some Connect, showed some features, they showed some new game, they showed some third-party games, they showed some more trailers, they showed Call of Duty, peace, they out. Now, what I don't think a lot of people understand about this, because this is really about timing. Now, people may bitch and complain and say, well, Sony showed more. Sony showed more. That is true. But you got to understand, Sony showed their conference almost 2 months ago. 2 months. That means it was 2 months away from what? E3. 2 months. So they had more of a reason to show more because of the fact they had a whole 2 months before E3. What sense? And this is what I'm saying, how bad this is. Microsoft even came out a couple of days before they even did the conference and said, well, we're not really going to focus heavily on games. We're going to save that for E3. And this was on every game website that personally I go to, and I go to a lot. At least about 10 a day, maybe even 15. And every site I went to, this was pretty much basic knowledge that they were not going to show a lot of games. They were going to show the system, focus on the system, not games. Game. They said we're going to say the games for E3. For those that's hard-headed and can't understand. So, when you woke up this morning to watch it, you should say, hey, Microsoft is going to show system, games at E3. That's not hard at all. So, they do it. Then everybody jumps on them and bitch and complains about them not showing games. And I'm like, well, hold up, man. They said they wasn't going to show that many games until E3. And they even announced yesterday they were going to show, EA was going to show up and show FIFA and some sports game. And then we knew Call of Duty was going to be at it. So my thing is like, why? And the thing about it is, this is mostly coming from Sony fanboys. And I really don't understand Sony fanboys. I really don't. Because out of every other fanboy, they have got to be the worst. Like, and the reason why I say they're the worst is because I hear all these Sony fanboys complaining and bitching about the Connect. But you didn't really hear none of them bitch and complain about when Sony was showing that whack ass Sony I 1.5 that they show, wannabe webcam. You know what I'm saying? A wannabe webcam basically that they showed at the Sony press conference, and nobody said nothing about it. And then the Sony fanboys are ragging on Microsoft for showing a Kinect, people. Something that was successful. Do you know the Kinect sold over like 30, 40 million Kinects? Not counting all the games they sold. And we're not talking about a little bit of games. We're talking about like Dance Central sold like almost 7-8 millions. We're talking about Zoomers that sold millions. Just Dance that sold millions. We're talking about exercise games that sold millions. We're talking about Kinect Sports that sold millions. We're not talking about the crap called the PlayStation Move that didn't sell anything, so they discontinued it and stopped making games for it. Let's be real about this now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you wouldn't see any of those type of games at a Sony press conference. Why? Because it's really not relevant to them, because the crap don't sell for them. But to a Microsoft press conference, it would make sense to show something that sold 30 or 40. And don't give me the excuse of saying that, well, people were forced. You're not forced to buy a Kinect. They have an Xbox 250 gig and one with a 4 gig that does not come with a Kinect. But it's some type of way still managed to sell 40 million consoles. Let's be real right now. Let's be real. Then you had the next argument about, no, they're showing too much television. They're showing too much social media. They're showing people. It is 2013. There's nothing that you can buy that's not a multi-end device. There's nothing. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you go buy, wait a second, let me get up for a second. If you go buy a cell phone, common sense will dictate to you that this cell phone here in my hand, that you buy it. Why? Because you want to talk on it. So when you go to a cell phone company, do you ask T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon, well, can we talk on it? Let me see, can I talk on it? Like, well, no, because common sense dictates you can talk on it. But the reason why you buy it is because you say, oh man, this iPhone here, it's got some cool ass features. Like, you know, this Droid here, it has some cool ass features, and I can talk on it. So why is it a big deal when Microsoft say, hey, this is the new Xbox? Did you play the 360? Did you play the Xbox before that? Well, common sense dictates that it plays games, but what are the features of it though? What makes this Xbox different from the other Xbox? You know what I'm saying? The Xbox before that. So if you start showing me like, okay, it can do this, it can do that, it's going to innovate cable or television, you got more of a better browser, you can do all this with your hands and make it move. I'm looking like, hey, that's cool. Is that going to be the main reason why I buy it? Of course not. Because I'm buying it for a gaming system. But it is cool to know that it has those features. Just like this phone. Like, if you couldn't talk on it, obviously, you wouldn't buy it. They say, well, look at all the cool features on this new iPhone. And you say, well, that's cool. But can we talk on it? He's like, nah. But why is it a phone? So obviously, it's a gaming system. Because if it had features but no gaming support, it wouldn't be a gaming system. So why is that so hard to understand? And I hear people on YouTube saying, well, I just want my gaming system to be a gaming system. Well, maybe you need to go buy you a Nintendo. I mean, original NES. You may need to go buy a Super Nintendo, because ever since the Super Nintendo and the original NES, or like the Sega Genesis, it's always been multimedia. You ain't heard nobody complain about the fact that the original PlayStation could play CDs. You didn't hear nobody complain about the fact that the original PS2 could play DVDs and CDs. I ain't never heard nobody complain about the fact that the PlayStation 3 could play Blu-rays and CDs and could play movies and Hulu's and Netflix and YouTube's and all this other shit that you can go on and browse on the internet. So why is it a problem when Microsoft shows it? You know what I'm saying? And don't give me, oh, well, it's a conference, they should be showing games. Like, look, they told you, let's go back. What did they say? What did they say? They said, we're going to unveil the system. We're going to show the bulk of the games when 2 weeks later at what? E3. That's right. So we knew going in, this is exactly what this was going to be about. We was going to get the actual system. We was going to get the features. And we was going to get the what? The games 2 weeks later. And they add insult to injury. So now I'm questioning some of y'all's intelligence, because they add insult to injury. They even came out in the press conference that lasted for an hour and 10 minutes. They said, look, we know about halfway in, they say, we know we're not really showing that many games, y'all. But to ease you, we're going to show 15 exclusives. 15 exclusives at E3. And they even broke it down. They ain't leave no room for imagination. They say, hey, guess what? 7 of these games, y'all know about. So y'all familiar with the franchise. Halo, Gears, Forza, things of this nature. Check out Forza. That's the new Forza. Bam. 8 of these games are going to be exclusive. New games that you never seen. Check one of them out. Bam. Can't remember the name of the game. It looked awesome. Same developers, Remedy, that made Alan Wake. Looks good. And we're going to show you all these games were at E3. When? 2 weeks from now. Wow. Then they even went on to say, and all these games will be out within the first year of the Xbox One day one launch. And at this point, I'm like, I'm happy at this point. Because I'm looking like, okay, it looks nice. I'm not really that happy about the name of it. They could just call it the Xbox for far as, it sounds better than me, but that's really irrelevant. But it's like, I'm happy because I'm seeing the system for the first time. I'm getting the specs of it. Okay, this is Kinect. Okay, it looks cool and all. And we're going to see the game at a gaming convention. It's not like this gaming convention is 3 or 4 months away. This is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Really almost a week and a half. And we're going to get 15 games. Even at the Sony press conference, I ain't see nothing. Sony said nothing about no damn 15 games being no E3. Because you know what? Because see, listen, people. Sony is tapped out. Y'all, I'm going to call a spade tonight. And nobody, no way, like I always say, I'm a Sony hater. I got Sony games on my wall. And I got a PS3 sitting over here. Sony is tapped out. Because I'm going to tell you what Sony is going to unveil at E3. Listen, mark my words on it. They're going to show you what? Because they already showed their hand. They're going to show you some more Infamous. They're going to show you some gameplay. They're going to show you some Killzone. They're going to show you some gameplay. They're going to show you them couple them platform games they show at their Sony press conference. I can't remember the name of. They're going to show some gameplay. They're going to show that driving club. They're going to show it again. But they're going to show some gameplay. And then a week after E3, guess what comes out? Last of Us. We haven't seen no multiplayer. I guess why? Because they're going to show it at E3. You seen that work last year at the previous E3 last year. They're going to show you Beyond Two Souls. When did you see Beyond Two Souls? You saw it last year at E3 and it still hasn't come out. But guess what? They're going to show you this year at E3 and they're going to show you some gameplay. And guess what? The rest of the time, that system they got called the Vita that's not doing very well, they're going to have to relaunch that. And they're going to relaunch that during E3. And so that way they're going to show you almost 15, 20, 30 minutes of footage about this new Vita or how it's going to be more compatible with the PlayStation 4. But guess what? We already knew that too, though. You see what I'm saying? So you're not going to get anything because they're going to show you probably some Killzone footage of Vita. So they don't show their hands. So they probably somewhere right now with their studio saying, hey, you know what? We need to get some Uncharted 4 footage. Even if it's something we can just throw together to kind of make it seem like we're working on something. But Sony ain't never mentioned the fact that they was having 15 exclusives coming out for the Sony PlayStation 4 and it's going to be out all in the first year. But we ain't heard no Sony fanboys talk about that. And I don't want to drag this out more than 15, 16 minutes, but I'm going to say this and leave the Sony fanboys alone. And then you got the PC fanboy jumping around. And I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, they the worst. Anybody owns a PC gaming rig, which I own one myself, they are the worst because they're jumping around talking about, I want my gaming experience to be a gaming console. Why in the hell do you own a PC gaming rig then? That is the most hypocritical shit I have ever heard in my life. You spent $2,000 building a rig and you saying, I want my gaming experience to be just more of a gaming experience. But you own a PC gaming rig that you can do millions of things on at the same time. And it's the truly only way to justify even building a gaming rig, a PC gaming rig. Because why? Because you can say, well, I can play games on it. I can work on my photography on it. I can work on my music on it. I can take my school papers on it. I can do presentations on it. I can get on Skype on it. I can watch television on it. I can get on the internet on it. So what did that sound like to me? It sounds like you a damn ass hypocrite. That's what it sounds like. Because if you was about a gaming console, then you would the last thing you would do would buy a PC gaming rig because it's the same thing. There's no way to look at the new Microsoft Xbox and say, hey, I want my console to be more of a gaming console, but then turn around 2 or 3 years before and build a PC gaming rig and then not own a gaming console. You don't even own a 360 or a PlayStation 3. Oh man, cats show their true colors today on. I mean, like yo, like I posted on Facebook, like fanboys and haters show their true colors today, and this is even beyond the Xbox. In my opinion, this is even beyond Microsoft and Xbox. This is just about stupidity at its best, and I'm calling it. And people wonder why we make videos about why the gaming community can't be respected. Like, yo, really? Really? Like, you really want to be respected in the gaming community? You want people to really respect you in the gaming community? And you got this type of fanboyism going on? Really? Really? Like I said, like, and I'm not even, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't own all the Sony consoles. All of them. I told Cherry Blossom about 2 weeks ago, I said, yo, you know what? I said the only system I have never owned is what was the system? I can't remember what I told her. But I owned every system. It was like something like a Turbo Graphics or something that I never owned. But I don't own a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, a Sega Genesis, a Sega Saturn, a Dreamcast, a PS1, a PS2, a PS3. I own a Wii. The only system I don't have right now at this moment is a Wii U. You see what I'm saying? And even I'm not sitting here saying that crazy ass shit that people saying. You know what I'm saying? I don't own them all, and I'm not even that close-minded. You know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world is going on? I know I'm ranting, but like I told y'all, normally, for those that follow my subscribers that follow my channel, pretty much I typically stay away from stuff like this, and I usually don't bring this on my channel. But sometimes, you just gotta step out your comfort zone, and you gotta start swinging, because sometimes you just gotta draw a line. And I had to draw a line today. And like I said, this ain't even about Microsoft. This is about being real. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about, I support everything. Just keep it real, man. If you like Sony and you knew you was buying a PlayStation 4, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh, Microsoft has to impress me. Like, no, Nintendo don't have to impress you. Like, if you want to buy it, you want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Don't make that excuse up. Like, I know I ain't buying that damn Wii U and that damn Xbox. I'm buying that PlayStation 4. But just leave it at that. Like, no, I'm buying a PlayStation 4. It's what I like. You know what I'm saying? It's my system. If you buying an Xbox, leave it at that. If you buying a Wii U, leave it at that. Don't be harassing people, man. Stop that, man. That ain't cool, man. It's cool to be fun and all in fun and games, but just harassment is a different thing. And just being just like a fanboy to that level, like, man, that ain't cool, dude. That ain't cool. That ain't cool, man. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I didn't do this video for no popularity. Really don't care if I get 1,000 down dislikes. It is what it is. It's your boy Steels, always keeping it 100%. You can always come here for the true people, because damn, you can't go too many places. But it's your boy Steels forever. Later.